realized that he was going to have to be especially careful tonight, or risk blowing their scam before it ever got off the ground. He slid the 2 decks in front of Moon, who cut them with a plastic cut card. "Good luck," Jack said. Then he started to deal. Jack Lightfoot was not your typical card mechanic. Born on the Navajo Indian Reservation in New Mexico, he'd been arrested at 17 for a string of convenience store robberies and spent 6 years in the federal pen doing hard time. The prison was filled with gangs. Jack had gravitated to a Mexican gang and hung out in their cell block. The Mexicans often played cards. They played different games, but the game Jack fell in love with was blackjack, and whenever it was his turn to deal, blackjack was the game he chose. One night, Jack had lain on his cot thinking. He'd seen a lot of cheating among the Mexicans. They marked cards with shoe polish or palmed out a pair before a hand began. It occurred to him that if he was going to cheat, wouldn't blackjack be the game to do it in? The Mexicans were suspicious guys, and manipulating the cards was out of the question. But why not manipulate the other players into making bad decisions? Guys did it in poker all the time. It was called bluffing. Why not blackjack? One night, one of the Mexicans gave Jack a magic mushroom. Jack ate it, then went to bed. When he awoke, he was screaming, his body temperature 106. While strapped to a bed in the prison infirmary, Jack's brain turned itself inside out. When he finally came out of it, a single thought filled his head. With the turn of a single card, he could change the odds at blackjack. With the turn of a single card, he could force players into making bad decisions. With the turn of a single card, he could master a game that had no masters. He howled so hard they kept him strapped to the bed for an extra day. Nigel Moon's stack of chips soon resembled a small castle. A crowd of gaping tourists had assembled behind the table to watch the carnage. The Brit cast a disparaging look over his shoulder, like he was pissed off by all the attention. "You've got groupies," Candy said. Moon's eyes danced behind his sour expression. He sipped his martini, trying to act nonchalant. Candy stared at him dreamily. "Congratulations, sir," Jack said, his lines committed to memory. "You just broke the house record." Moon fished the olive out of his martini glass. "And what record is that, my good man?" "No one has ever won 84 hands before," Jack informed him. The Brit sat up stiffly, basking in the moment. "Is that how many I've won?" 84, yes, sir." "And no one's ever done that before?" "Not in a row, no, sir." "So I'm the champ." "Yes, sir, you're the champ." Moon snapped his fingers, and a cocktail waitress came scurrying over. "A round of drinks for everyone," he said benevolently. The crowd gave him a round of applause. Candy brought her mouth up to Moon's ear and whispered something dirty. Moon's eyes danced with possibilities. "A question," Moon said. Jack waited expectantly. "Is there a limit on tipping?" "Sir?" "I know there's a limit on betting," Moon said. "Is there a limit on tipping?" "Not that I'm aware of," Jack said. Moon shoved half his winnings Jack's way. Standing, he leaned over the table and breathed his martini into Jack's face. "Do something wicked tonight. On me." "Yes, sir," Jack replied. Jack's shift ended at midnight. He changed out of his dealer's clothes into jeans and a sports shirt and drifted outside through the back door. In the parking lot, Jack lit a cigarette. A full moon had cast a creamy patina across the macadam. The casino backed onto a lake, and across its surface floated a dozen pairs of greenish eyes. The Micanopy Reservation was in the Everglades, and alligators were always hanging around, eyeing you like a meal. He smoked his cigarette down to a stub while thinking about the raggle. She had melted when Moon had started winning, and Jack had watched her leave the casino draped to his side. Was she falling for him? He sure hoped not. A black limo pulled into the lot. Behind the wheel sat Rico's driver, a spooky Cuban guy named Splinters. The limo pulled up and the back door popped open. Rico Blanco sat in back, jabbering on his cell phone. Jack got in. "South Beach," Rico told his driver. The limo